So I don't know about you guys, but I recently watched an MKBHD video. MKBHD is a very famous tech review YouTuber, and he introduced a Boston Dynamics robot called Spot. I watched the video. I was, I guess, intrigued because that robot had very lifelike movements. I believe it was the objective of the robot was to get surveillance or have the ability to reach places where a human cannot reach. Anyone want to
Yeah,
elaborate?
yeah. I feel like that robot is like it's kind of scary to know that something like that could exist, right? But like as you said, like very movements of like the surveillance part of it is probably the best, right? So like just like having like to go somewhere maybe, right? So like if we can go somewhere maybe like in the forest or something, like I saw in his video, like he talked about where like you can have this where like humans can't really go.
Right.
And like I just have a question for you guys. Do you guys like think if like it's wildly available, like for example in like let's say in 5 to 10 years this thing becomes a little bit cheaper, do you think people will actually get it?
I think it depends. It obviously not the common people wouldn't get it. I feel like it would be more of for the wealthy class because currently it's like what $74,500 USD. Even if over the years it does get cheaper, it's not going to get cheaper to like a bad to a lower price range, I would say. And I would actually like if one could afford, I would say go for it because as Shash was saying, like I would say called the surveillance aspect, right? There's a limit to how much normal cameras on walls or like on different like areas could like surveil could cover, I would say. Whereas like something that's moving such as the Spot robot, it could cover different levels of the ground and like different areas and so on. So I would say like if one could afford, yeah, I'm pretty sure people would go for it.
In my opinion, I feel like it would be completely useless in like a commercial way. No.
Yeah.
Listen, hear me out.
Okay,
I know that was very straightforward, but my bad. So I meant that because I was watching the video and it only has like a 90-minute battery life, and you have to charge. If you look at the battery cells, those things are huge. They're crazy huge.
But
And
would you say this is the first prototype, like the first version of this?
oh no, the first versions were like I believe like years ago. They showed it like
Oh, so this is
videos
the
of it.
final. This is like the final
Yeah,
full-on production,
this is what they're going for, yeah, to like
and
the
they only have
first
90
version.
minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, only 90 minutes of power time. And the thing is, it's not like I believe if it's more fully automated, it would be a bit more commercial because at this point, I believe someone has to be behind the control, has to help walk it around and all of that. It has
Mhm.
the ability to flip himself over if it does fall, but I feel like automation is where the industry is going towards, and I feel if they're able to incorporate an automation um, aspect to Spot, I feel like it would definitely be more viable in the commercial industry than the
And that would,
industrial.
and I'm pretty sure that would also double the price tag that's currently there.
Currently, like I believe, I'm not guaranteeing, but I think it's listed at like $70,000.
74,
Holy.
yeah, 74.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a hefty price. Like I feel like it's more for like you said, like maybe someone like the cops, maybe FBI or something like that. They might use it in the U.S. Like for them, maybe it's a viable option. But like normal people, as Mavin said, I don't see a use for it unless it's maybe much smaller, gives you more battery time, and like maybe cheaper as well, like around like $1,000, like your smartphone. So like
Yeah, for
I feel
sure.
like it's
yeah,
more like surveillance based. Surveillance and
yeah,
exploration, I would say.
yeah, exploration.
But
Yeah.
then like when you brought up the point of like the 90-minute surveillance cap, right?
Right.
Like for $74,000, I don't see the worth now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know of the time cap that was there. I thought it would last at least like a day or so.
Oh no. I wish.
yeah, like even like the prototypes they had before, like you probably like if you follow Boston Dynamics for like a really long time, this was a long time coming. Like as for like like there's been like at least like 4 or 5 prototypes of this robot. So like to even get to this level, it's taken them at least like 10 to 20 years. So hopefully like they can proceed faster, like with like the better battery, maybe more time. Like
No,
I
but
feel like
considering where they are right now, I feel no. I haven't exactly kept up with Boston Dynamics, but like, I was considering where they were and where they are right now. It's definitely a huge improvement. Like considering the complexity, like there's like so many arrays of cameras on it. There's multiple sensors. There's different things that has to work together and very precisely for Spot to move the way Spot is moving and for Spot to function the way it's functioning. So I feel like it's definitely like a significant like curve that they've been up. I believe that they have the potential, but again, it's still I'm pretty sure they're going the right way.
But they also have been like I was looking into it a little bit more and just figured out how they have been in R&D for 28 years.
Yes,
Right?
they have been.
they
So
have been.
for a company that has been working on a product for 28 years and to come out with such a price tag, I don't think any time in the near future that price tag is going to drop.
Definitely
Yeah.
not.
Definitely not.
So the usage and like the people who can use it, like the target customer audience, like I'm not sure who that specifically directed to at this point, because with like the short recording time gap and all that stuff.
Right.
But it's an interesting product for sure.
It
Like,
definitely is.
The take they have on it is actually pretty cool.
Again, well, I guess we can move on to the next topic. Is recently Trump announced that he wanted to ban TikTok because it posed a security threat to the U.S. Considering that, what do you guys think? What is your take on that topic, or other apps that you think that might might pose a security threat?
So like I think that TikTok ban is like huge for like apps around the world and like software developers. So like like people like in China like who develop these apps, right? They have to be careful next time like when because they're gonna be developing more apps and stuff. And even people here. So for example, if we decide to go into the software industry, we might be working with some apps or some softwares like that. So we have to take into account the security aspects that every country is trying to have, like especially the US, like they feel like the app breaches a lot of things. So the ban is definitely interesting in the sense that like I just want to see like what new apps come from this ban.
Right.
I'm pretty like I know they're talking about Microsoft buying it or some other company, but I think Trump also said that even if American-based companies such like Apple or something like that, they even buy TikTok, there still might be security concerns. So it'll be interesting looking at who creates the second TikTok app or who what happens with it.
Well, like one thing right off the bat, like as the ban was announced, right? Like the talks of the ban was announced, Instagram was working on something called Instagram Reels. It's already implemented into like all the Instagram versions, like the updates and stuff. So that's also another form of TikTok, but obviously on the Instagram platform, right? And when Trump was talking about the ban and like how he set an ultimatum, like sell the company by this date, right? Or else get completely taken out of the market. I feel like the American economy really would benefit off getting complete control over over TikTok. But then again, it's such a big company and it's not just owned by one franchise in China, it's owned by multiple different franchises. So even if they sell it, right, they wouldn't sell like the entire they wouldn't sell the entire company because no company currently could buy that out, right? It just doesn't have line cash like that to buy it out.
Right.
They would have to buy out a component. Then again, as Joshua said, even if even if Apple or Microsoft buys out just that portion, the concept of security threats still exists because it's still linked to the bigger company.
Correct, I hear that. But the thing, if we were to look across seas, China doesn't have companies or platforms that we have freely available here. For example, they don't have things like Instagram
or YouTube.
Or YouTube, exactly, because
Google's completely banned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because they believe, I'm assuming, is also that these applications are security threats for that country itself. So, again, as Philip said, I believe it is right for the ban to go ahead. But then again, there are other softwares. For example, I believe Zoom had allegations like this accused on it as well.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep.
Yeah, but then one thing I noticed was the minute Zoom became popular with like the lockdown, everything going on to the online mode, Google invented something else too, right?
Google Meet, I believe.
Yeah, Google Meet. Yes, so that is becoming pretty well known too. Not many people know it because it's kind of hidden on like it's in Gmail. When you open up Gmail, you can see it on the left bottom corner, right? But now it's gaining a good popularity as well because it's free. I believe there's no plans. There's no pricing plans.
So it's just connected right to your email. So you just
Yeah.
like send an email, maybe click a button on your email.
Yeah.
So I feel like something like that could happen with TikTok. Like as you said, like Instagram, like having their reels, right? It's kind of a similar idea to the meets, right?
Mhm.
Right.
So like companies like that, or maybe a new app approaches, right? Like for example, I believe TikTok was known as Musically before.
Yeah.
So something like that, like comes back or something, or I don't know,
But then also, like recently, guys, like one of the things right after the ban announcement came through, like TikTok announced like a $200 million fund for what's it called, like a payment type of thing, like a payment plan for like all the creators. So they already chose like 20, 30 creators like for their first batch, and they're paying them now. Before it was like ad and sponsorship based payments, like you would make money off TikTok if you were famous, right? But now TikTok is paying their creators.
And why is that for?
Because obviously Instagram Reels came out, and there was a big shift because everyone was like, there was some software updates, and like views disappeared, likes disappeared, follower count disappeared, right? So people thought TikTok was completely getting banned that day. So people started shifting over to Instagram Reels, right? That was one of the things that happened. So there's a good initially when Instagram Reels started, like there was barely anyone on it, and not many people knew about it, right?
Right.
And then when this update issue and everything came up, like Instagram Reels just shot off, like skyrocketed with like
Mhm.
the people that transitioned into it. So obviously TikTok, to keep the big creators like Charlie D'Amelio, her sister, all the big like 60, 70 million follower count like peoples, right? They obviously started paying them like a set amount.
Wait a minute. Can I? Who all has TikTok? Like, do both of you have TikTok?
No, I don't have TikTok.
Sadly, I'm on that platform, but I don't do much on it.
I'm definitely not on TikTok, but I feel like the thing with TikTok is what happened is, all the TikTok content has definitely appeared on Instagram, as Philip said, because of Reels. I definitely
Mhm.
see like all my entire Explore page is filled with Reels that has the TikTok tag on the sides of it. So it's kind of like there's definitely that transition happening. People were definitely scared of it.
Yeah.
But I believe the app is still not banned. I believe it's still available.
No, it's still low. It's still low.
Yeah, apparently Trump issued a 45-day warning from
Yeah, it's sometime in
August,
September, I think, right?
September, September. Yeah, so 45 days. Like I don't know, like if it gets banned that day, but it's getting closer to that day for sure. But like,
But I believe Microsoft is in the talks, right? To buy
Yeah,
that brand?
Microsoft is in the
Microsoft
talks.
was in the
Yes,
talk to buy TikTok. Yes, I believe
yes, yeah, yep.
yeah, things like that. You're right, 100%. It like coming back to the topic of the security of it, it does pose like a security threat considering it's from like an overseas application. Again, we do use other applications that are originated from overseas. We do most of our hardware, a lot of things like that originate overseas. So I feel like all of us are kind of in a security threat, but I guess we all are informed enough to know to keep our data safe and all of that network safety stuff. We do go through that. And
But
I
then
guess, go
yeah,
ahead.
I have a question on that, right? You know, like how there's a security threat like national level when it's something overseas, right? But as an individual, right? When you sign up for Facebook, let's say, like you're giving full access to everything you post, all the information you put in to like the owners of Facebook, right? To the company. So they have full access to do whatever they want to do, and they've like there's news, and there's issue like there has been issues and lawsuits before where people's pictures have been used in different countries on billboards, right? That Facebook sells because Facebook obviously collects data, and they they sell it over to different people, right? Different countries.
Right.
So like third party people, like they obviously sell it. So why can like a app that is obviously created in America do that? I understand like the concept of like the threat part, right? The security threat, but why are we still allowing apps made in America to do that? Because it is a threat to the users.
100%. But then again, that's where the terms and conditions, where we just
Yeah.
completely skip to the bottom and just see agree to terms and conditions so we can get access to the app. That's where that concept comes in, right? I believe Google CEO and Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg and all of them did have a sit down with the government and had a talk about like there's the private information and all that security stuff. And I believe Facebook did incorporate that in their application. They do. There are options that allow us to stop Facebook from accessing our information. We can tell Facebook to take only so and so information. We don't have to give Facebook all of our information. There is access in Facebook to do that. But
does it give you all the customized, like does it allow you to customize every concept aspect of it, or is it just few options that they provide?
What do you mean by that?
Like let's say they can't take our like pictures or like our what's it called, like sometimes when you go over to different places, like you log into that location, right? You say,
Right.
oh, checked into this location, or like different searches that you do. Like obviously searches is one of the big things they use to see what products you like and like push it out that way so they can advertise, because Facebook advertising is a big thing nowadays, right?
Right.
So do we get an option like a grip over saying, no, you can't do this, you can't do this, or is it just few options that are given to you? Like you can't use my pictures, you can't like leak everything, or do you get the full control over your account is my question.
I believe the picture thing, buddy. Anything you post on the internet belongs to the internet. That's a rule that it's like a non-written rule. Everyone knows that. So if you post a picture on Facebook, it belongs to Facebook. That's how it is. It is what it is. But I believe the other one where the login information, where I would have people on my feed saying right now checked into so and so airport, heading to so and so. I believe you can control that, and your location information. I believe you can control that as well. So again, talking about network safety and security and all of that, we can head into our next topic, which is the big 5G networks. And I believe everyone knows what 5G is. For people that doesn't know what 5G is, does anyone want to explain?
Yeah, like I'll go ahead. Let's say 5G is basically like the new network stream that's coming in, the towers and all. Like you probably heard a lot about you probably have 4G if you have data. So 5G is basically the newer, faster data version of that. Like that's like putting it into simple terms, not going into like the definition and all that. But I feel like what we want to talk about this is like the 5G concerns, right? So like, do you think like people posing the 5G concerns, are they like realistic? Like, I know I've heard a lot of stories. I've also myself listened to like some podcasts talking about 5G, like where they talk about how it's causing coronavirus. Like, is that a thing, right? So like, there's a lot of theories like that. Like people think that because of 5G towers, it's causing a lot of diseases and a lot of things like that. Do you guys think like, is that real, or is that just things so people can be popular or something like that? Like, what do you guys think?
Philip, you want to take this one?
Well, to be honest, I don't think technology can really like things such as 5G, for example, like as we're on that topic, I personally don't think that has the power to spread coronavirus to an extent. I feel like it's obviously hoax, things that are made up by different people in power to like cover up either their tracks or to obviously discourage the move towards 5G, right? Because the minute the world like starts depending fully on 5G, a lot of different like Wi-Fi people, like like different internet service providers, different companies will have to obviously shift over, which is going to be expensive, right? Because 5G obviously being one of the latest technologies, that's going to be like one of the latest components in network. I'm pretty sure it's going to be really expensive. So many people are creating different lies and fake news, I would say, just to push 5G to the side. Technology, yes, you can use technology to create diseases, but 5G network does not spread corona for sure.
Oh, you
Yeah.
have no idea how many WhatsApp videos I've gotten from my parents saying 5G is bad.
Yeah,
Like it's so
it's-
bad. Like the data on that is kind of like been all over the place to a point that I believe people in the UK are burning down valuable
yeah.
and very expensive equipment.
Yes, yeah, I've heard of that too. Like in the podcast I was talking about, that was like their topic that they just started off with is like people burning down, taking down towers, taking down like expensive equipment that companies have installed, and like things like that. Like I don't know, like maybe some radiation or something like that could be caused by 5G. Like they probably have to look into that type, but like the coronavirus allegation is I think completely false. It's just people trying to get popular, people trying to get popular after these things. And I feel like 5G will be soon implemented like everywhere. Like you've seen it. Like some phones, like newer phones, like the Samsung Note 20, it has a 5G version, and like also S20 has it, I believe. So like things like that are getting those versions out. So I feel like soon in the coming years it'll be as common as 4G right now.
And in relation to the corona thing, right? I was just like looking into it. And what people are saying is that 5G suppresses your immune system, right? And as you mentioned, the radiation aspect also comes into play, and that's what's promoting the COVID spread. But then again, there's no fact or there's no case, like actual case, where they can connect both those things together. Like there has been no incidents so far, right? It's just conspiracies, as we said, that people are just making up, and the vast majority just tends to believe these things, and then they react and act as I believe one of you said, like they were burning down towers and expensive things, right? So like the people just go off on that, like conspiracy theories.
Right. The thing with that again is I believe as you said, I think it's going to take a bit more time for it to be available across. Does Canada have a place? Like, is any provider in Canada testing out
Yeah,
5G?
Bell,
Yeah, Bell.
Rogers,
Yeah.
Bell
Okay.
and Rogers, yeah.
So I guess it's just gonna take a bit time. Again, not all the phones that we have are able to connect to 5G networks, and considering how reliable we are on our technological devices, it's going to be definitely hard to transition over because we heavily rely on the hardware we have right now. So going out to buy a new phone or buy a new computer with Wi-Fi capabilities that can connect to 5G networks is definitely going to be harder thing to transition to, but I believe that's where the future is going to.